Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so eager, so pumped, and so fired up to be able to share with you what I have in store. That's been a long time in the coming. We've really thought about what we were planning in the direction of digital first aid, and I'm really eager to get going. And this is where the rubber really meets the road. So with this presentation, I want to achieve a couple of things. One of them, I'm trying to show you exactly how you can have more people flocking to your training courses, you may have a steady drip of people, but I want them to turn it into an overflow of attendees. This webinar is designed to show you how you can ethnically make more money and dominate your competition while helping them out at the same time, potentially. Now, oxymoron, of course, but I'll show you exactly what that means now. All right, but first of all, who is this for? It's not for everybody, but it is for the first aid training providers. People are looking to grow and pencil in more course dates. You could be a mental health first aid provider and you're really eager to spread the good word and you want to get more people attending your course and you want to be making money at the same time. There's nothing wrong with making money, all right? For medical training providers, professionals willing to leverage online resources and attract new course attendees on autopilot. Autopilot being the focus word. You hear that quite often, but it is key. You want to automate everything, all right? Then it's for first aid contractors, freelancers or organizations, willing to add course dates for other instructors hosted on their website, and while they can take a commission at the same time. Very, very powerful stuff. All right. Also, what I want to share with you, let me move myself up there. If you stay around to the end of this presentation, I will also be giving you a keyword list that will generate more bookings for your course than anything you've seen before. This keyword list, as we have proven, that generates the most conversions, so high intent conversions, purchase intent keywords, should I say, and key phrases, and I'll share with you with that if you stick around to the end. All right, let me put myself back there. All right, so who are we? Originally, we still have an agency, but we started off as a full stack agency. What that means is we did everything for everything. We did all sorts of marketing, all sorts of web designs, app development, you name it, we did it. We are Google certified partners, marketing partners for Facebook, Webflow certified partners. So we really knew our stuff. We were featured on NBC, Fox, CBS. Some of them, are not much of a flex, but worth a mention all the same. But what we were doing for each client it was custom work. We're doing different industries, different work. We had to run through a rigorous testing phase. We had to create brand new, never seen before strategies and perform tedious custom tasks. This was crazy, wildly inefficient and was taking far too long from our part to do these. We were seeing results, but my God, did we have to work from them. As the agency was growing, we noticed the expenses continued to grow as well. The only reason we did it because we loved what we were doing. We loved being able to help. Nothing brings more joy than seeing the satisfaction on your customers' faces, or in an email congratulating, or in a testimony. But basically, what we were doing, we're doing lead generation for anybody with a credit card. We were seeing success for sure, but we really had to work for it, and we didn't love some of the industries where we were helping. At the start of each campaign, or when we onboard our clients, we had to start we had to do a research phase for each client. It could be, we'd have to go through industry research, gap analysis, customers' personas, client avatars, customer journey planning, audience research, keyword research, content review, renew each time and every time. And it was labor intensive and took a lot of work. We would do, as I mentioned, we would do everything for anyone. We could, if you were a lawyer and you wanted a website, we'd do it. If you were an architect and you wanted Facebook's social media management or Facebook ads, we'd do it. If you were an arborist and cut down trees and you wanted Google ads, boom, we would do it for you. It was really, really, it was, there was variety, but it was challenges. At that time, we were willing to take on and do anything for anyone who was willing to pay for us and needed help. We just thought, if people need help, this is our ethos. We need to help them. As the company owner, I could be up all night thinking about solutions for our clients. And the worst thing that was, at some of them, we weren't sure if they were actually going to work. And this led to sleepless nights and, ridiculous kind of, when I think back of it. Our old solution, we would have a custom made plan for each week, each month, each specific task. And this was all custom. There was no standardization. There was no productization. And as I mentioned, it was inefficient, At the time, we were using 1 million different softwares and integrations for each class and had really no system. It seemed like as a business owner and then the team as well, there wasn't enough hours in the day to get through what we wanted to get through. It was a roller coaster, and it felt like, we were on top of it and on top of the world, and then it would go down, and it was just, sometimes you're putting out fires, and sometimes you are, you're riding high and you're just living life large through the success and the management of the company. But something had to give. It was becoming a pressure cooker within the company. And for me, outside it looked good and numbers were growing and scaling. But for me, as the business owner, there was something missing. On top of that, I wasn't feeling completely fulfilled with some of the industries we were helping. We were helping people, and that was, fulfilling and a great sense of reward. But some people, some industries, it's just like sometimes you're targeting people's insecurities to sell a product, and that did not sit well with me. So after deliberation, I did what any other person would do when faced with a problem. I totally ignored it. I carried on with life and keep doing what we're doing, grinding away. And I did this until I couldn't anymore. I had to make a decision. I had to do something. And what happened, this eventually led me to finding an online community, packed with, a group of high performing individuals. In the past, I'd been part of like masterminds. I'd been part of groups and communities and coaching, and spent thousands, and still do, each and every year. But nothing was like this. This group was different. It wasn't led by these online gurus or experts. They're trying to basically swindle people out of their own money. Their passion and their whole message was, get results for your clients first and foremost, and work with clients or industries that you feel passionate about helping. This was what I was looking for. And my father used to always say when I was growing up, when the student is ready, the master will appear. And it really felt like this. I found the people that were saying all the things that I were genuinely believing in, and what I wanted to make an impact in, which direction we wanted to go as a company. And naturally I instantly resonated with their ethos and what they were saying. But what else I learned? Those within that community, those that were generating amazing results for their clients and had streamlined systems and just everything worked fluidly, they were using a thing called niching. Essentially niching is a focusing on one industry and standardizing a service or a product based on the needs and the best outcomes. The aim was to become a specialist in one area and not a generalist. And the metaphor I like to use is, if you had a brain tumor or brain injury, you wouldn't go to your GP. You would go to a brain surgeon. Well, if your business, why would you go to a generalist that does everything for anyone and not a specialist. But at this point in time, we really didn't know how or where we would niche down as a company. After long deliberations, we were asked which of the clients. See, there's a typo there. Which clients that's supposed to be? Which clients were we proud to work with? And there's loads of them, right? Quite a few, and to this day, we still work with those. But there was a handful that we really, really, really loved working with, and also time and time again, I would always remember something from my early life. When I was a kid. I was about, I think, was about 12 years old, and it really shaped me as a person. I can never get it out of my head. Really, it always. I could be lying on the bed or out with a walk, and I would think of this, or at the beach. I would always think back, and I've always had this mindset that I always wanted to give back. And I really did. I felt like I had a skill I wanted to give back. And I knew exactly where I was going to do and where I was going to hone my skill. I wanted to use my skills, to help people that were doing amazing things, and not just people that were really focused on the money. And money's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with money. But I wanted more. I wanted to do my bit for the world, So to give you a bit of context and a backstory, years and years ago, I was back on a family holiday in Spain in a place called Calella. Calella, a beautiful town. I was just outside Barcelona, and I was swimming on the beach, and I had a big family, 9 of us all together, and I drifted away and I got lost out playing in the water. And there's the sandbank. After you go out about 3 or 4 meters, it really dropped out all of a sudden. And I used to just play in the shallows, but at one point I just went a bit too far, and I obviously dropped off that shell, and I nearly drowned. Realistically, I was moments away from drowning. I took in crazy amounts of water. I remember the panic setting in and not knowing what was going on. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, an angel, this woman came out of nowhere. She obviously seen me, picked me up, this elderly woman, topless, makes no difference, but I just remember looking into her eyes and thinking, oh, that was different, but that's Europe and it's normal over there. And she picked me up and stumbled a few times because the waves were crashing in the sand, but she heroically carried me to shore, and using her CPR, she brought me back to life. And that's just, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. But yeah, to this day, I never forget that woman. I never want to either. But I always have this regret that I never got the chance to actually thank her. And I would love to. I would love it more than anything. And the more times I thought about it, and I was thinking to myself, boom, it was like a moment of realization, that if it wasn't for her training, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be speaking to you guys. And once I thought about it, I found I had no other choice. This was almost like a calling, and I'm not, I'm spiritual, but not super religious. But I was like, this is something that I can get behind. This is something I can lean in and I resonate with. So that's when I said to myself, I'm going to help as many people in the first aid industry as I possibly can, so they can go and do what they can do best. Because I firmly believe, despite my story, and I believe that change isn't made in this glorious epiphany, this glorious moment of inspiration. Real change is done in the incrementals, the day-to-day, the granular, small, everyday things that make up the difference and save lives and make an impact for the planet in a whole. And I believe more than ever now, to be honest, that nothing makes more of a collective difference than first aid. And no one is saying it. No one's speaking about it, and not, well, if they are, not as much as should be. If you think about it, how many people are saved, including myself, years and years ago, as a result of first aid? thousands upon thousands. And this is glorious. This is amazing, 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 amazing thing. But on the flip side, like, how many people have lost their lives when there was no one there to give CPR, or no one knew what to do when someone was choking, or to stop, excessive bleeding, or how many people weren't there to step up and have this training. And I can imagine the figures greatly outweigh the number of people that are actually saved. And this, to me, is criminal. I think this should be mandatory, that everybody knows the skill, So after this second realization, my mission from then on was to help the unsung heroes of the world, essentially first aid trainers, and this, physical, mental, and this was what I needed to do. So through them, I had to reach every person. So yeah, the idea is to help people, and first aid trainers are the vehicle in which I can help the end user, if you will. So that's what I said to myself. I'm going to help. I'm going to help first aid trainers reach these people and give this life-saving treatment. So that second led me to more thinking. I figured I could do things better. We've always knew how to get leads for all of our clients, but we really wanted to focus on this industry. So we figured out how we could create bookings on autopilot. We've done it for many different industries. We've done it for first aid providers as well. We knew if we were to able to, if we found this secret sauce, basically the ingredient that could be needed to save the world. If I help people to attract people so people can help people. Now, that's something that we have to unpack. If I can help first aid trainers attract more people to their course, and educate and inform people that is so critical, I might not do my part. So what we created, and this was over testing, and we've done it, for many industries, and we've done it for first aid trainers, companies like M-Care, companies like Your First Aid Training, and we've done it. We've taken them from running at a loss to $1 million in revenue in the first year. So we knew we could do it. So we reverse engineered what was working, and we created the solution. So let's talk about that solution that I mentioned. Now, first of all, we need to create a machine, what I call the machine, all right? And what are machines? Machines are something that are automatically run, need very little input from the user or the company owner yourself, and just work at a rate that humans physically can't do, okay? So when we think about business, what is generally the biggest problem? What's the most important, the lifeblood of any business? Sales, conversion, sales. But where do sales come from? All right. When we boil down, where do the sales or course people booking in for courses come from? They come from leads. Why don't we have more leads? Maybe we don't have enough time in the day. We're up, doing courses, we're training. We have a family, we've got kids. Maybe you're not enough staff. You're not that big. You're not big enough to be able to hire the staff. And if you hire a staff, how do I hire staff that can, convert and speak with people and converse with potential prospects? How do I hire someone that knows marketing? How do I know a person that knows how to do all the tech stuff on my website? How do I get someone that knows how to do social media? It's hard to be able to rely on staff if you're not right there. And then expertise. Even if you hire the staff, if you're hiring, if they have the expertise, you're going to pay a pretty penny. Maybe you yourself don't have expertise, and that's fine. You are a first aid trainer. You're not expected to know a gazillion things you need to know and how to dominate online, So in order to have a truly efficient lead machine, you probably will need to build it yourself. Or you get someone who knows the business to build the machine for you. Been around the block, has tried and tested results, years and years, 10 years plus the experience personally in the game. So there's many different places where you get leads. All right, but where do the best leads come from? All right, referrals are a great way, but referrals are not scalable and they're unpredictable. But apart from that, second best is Google. Why Google? Well, if I'm going to buy anything, where do people go? Even if I'm not, say for instance, I'm going to buy flowers for my girlfriend. Where am I going to go? Maybe I know florists around the place, maybe I don't. But what I'll do is I will go and I will find out, I will go onto Google and I will Google florists near me, and then I will go and generally buy that. Same thing if someone's looking for a first aid trading provider, they will go online and they will search in Google. Even if someone hears about you through word of mouth, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to go and check you out on Google. So either way, you need to come and be found on Google. Because if someone needs a service, they're going to go to Google. 89% of searches or purchases come through Google. All right, so Google needs to be your friend. And we've seen it firsthand. The companies that are generating the best results and have the most courses booked, at the max capacity and have dates, lined up all, multiple dates on multiple days, are dominating the humble search engine. But that's not enough. That might be your lead strategy, one of your lead strategies. But secondly, you need to systemize and conversion optimize. So you need to make sure that when people come to your website or your landing page, that they're actually converting. It doesn't matter how many leads you have, they're absolutely useless. You could have the best lead generation tactic in the world, but it's redundant if they're not actually converting into actual booked courses. And we've seen this in our early career. The way we're doing our job, we're getting loads of leads and we're thinking, man, we're doing such a good job here. There's, so many leads coming in here month on month. But what happened in the conversion mechanism, or the client in question here didn't know how to sell. So we were giving these leads, but they didn't know how to sell. But we weren't doing our job because we need to be selling the results. Although we did fulfill our obligations with getting leads, but the end result and what the client wants is sales. Cash register ringing, money in the bank. So this is why we came to this. Conversions is going to be very important. Not everybody's a salesperson. Not everybody has the time for it. So what you need to do is make sure that we're able to convert. You can spend hours on the phone or emailing people and answering questions and texting people and replying back to Facebook comments, trying to warm up these leads and ultimately trying to get them to, book into a course. You invest all this time and your energy, and then you're hit with this, let me think about it, or crickets. You hear nothing from them, even worse. But they might say, they might have courtesy and say, okay, let me think about it, I'll get back to you. And we all know that is just a polite way of saying, I'm not really interested, right? You shouldn't waste your time on dead-end leads. You shouldn't waste your time on doing something like that, But what's the other option, you're going to ask me? And that's fair enough. And that is sales funnel, baby. Oh, what's a sales funnel? Sales funnel will automatically influence, persuade, and ultimately convert those interested eyeballs into meetings or bookings. Okay? So sales funnel are your greatest gift. Your website could be a sales funnel essentially, but not all of them. And the crazy thing is, sales funnel could be your best friend, but 98% of people don't actually know what it is. When I say sales funnel, did you know what that meant? But I'd be interested to see if you did. So what a sales funnel is, and your website can act as a sales funnel, but it has to be strategically done. It is designed to come in, people come in the top of funnel is what we call. They go through your funnel, and you warm them up, you nurture them, you talk to their pain points, you agitate their pain points, and you offer a solution to said pain points. Then you position yourself as the bridge or the mechanism to get them from where they are right now, their current state, to their desired state. And you do that through a highly converting sales funnel or a website. You qualify, you convert, and at the very end of that funnel, you shoot out a booking or a customer. Okay? Now, I'm simplifying this down massively, but this is the gist of it. Otherwise, we'd be here for 2 or 3 days going through it all. But sales funnels are a God gift to anyone. All right. But look, let's talk about the third key of this solution. You see, not everybody's going to convert on the first time. That's just the reality of it. A lot of people, some people will, they're ready to go and they're like, yes, book me in. I don't need to ask any questions. But the reality is, not a lot of people will be in that state. Generally speaking, it takes about 5 to 12 touch points or 3 hours of consumed content before a lead is ready to convert, before a lead knows, like, and trust you can deliver what they're after. All right. So what we need to do is we need to, obviously have a sales funnel, a high converting website there to get the people that are ready to buy then and then. But we also need a strategy to nurture people through what we call the buyer's journey or the customer's journey or the buyer's journey essentially. And what we need to do is you bring them down that buyer's journey through interactions or touch points, So you need to have a method in place to ensure that we do this. Because that's like I mentioned, you could have the best, highest converting sales funnel in the world, but people won't commit. Not everybody. They're not in the right space of time. Think of yourself. If you went to purchase something, and generally speaking, the higher the cost, the more touch points you need, or the more research you need to go in and blogs and reviews and all this stuff you need to do. And that takes a lot of time for a lot of companies, to message them back and email them back and sending videos and sending all this information. But if you automate it, you do it with emails and retargeting campaigns and nurturing sequences. This can be all done, set up for you. And once it's done once, you never have to come back to it ever again. What you do is you create what we call an omnipresence. You stay on top of mind of potential customers. And when they're ready for the service that you provide, you were the first person you got the call because you were there for them. I may flirt with the idea of booking in on a course. I put my hand up, so I'm somewhat interested, but now is not the right time. Someone leaves the organization, Christmas comes or whatever it is, life gets in the way. But that doesn't mean they're not interested. It means they're not interested right that minute. And what happens is a lot of people will put it down to, okay, well, they're not interested, and they chalk them off as, not a good prospect. But the reality is they are. If they've reached out, they put up their hand, they've leaned forward. But a lot of people just drop the ball because there's just no follow-up process to them. You want to make sure that every single message, every single touch point, every single engagement needs to be designed to further bring them down that buyer's journey. Stranger, paid client, okay? This way you can ensure that your pipeline with prospects at every stage. People that are just doing the research, people that are, considering it, people that are ready to convert, people that are warm, people that are red hot leads. You can ensure that they're in at each and every stage. So guys, if you're interested in becoming a force in the industry and you want to create a machine that produces income for you and delivers life-saving trainings, and remember, in the end of the day, it's about, it's about making impact, but it's also about, making money for you guys. There's nothing inherently wrong with money. And this is a big point for us. That it's a really good gauge and for us in order how we do a good job for you. We can measure that. If you are getting way more bums and seats and you can see that there's more cash flow coming in, and you're doing the same amount of work, that shows us that we're doing a good job, or anyone is doing a good job. So guys, do I have your permission to show you how you can learn a bit more about this? The next bit, it's a bit complex. There's a lot of moving part. So to explain, I think would be best for us to jump on a one-on-one call. I've opened up some spaces in my calendar where I want to talk to you about your business. Like this call, believe me, it's not going to cost a thing, and I'm not going to hard sell. I promise you, I will not hard sell. If you think, I see some companies that get in and try and do some manipulative tactics. Believe me, that's not going to be the case. There is one goal of this call. It's to figure out where you are right now, grab some information from you, do a bit of research for you about your business, and then link back up again. Once we've identified what your roadblocks are in your company, we'll give you the exact roadmap of how to fix them. Okay? This doesn't always include working with us. And in actual fact, it probably won't. We are really adamant about this. We don't wade into waters if we do not forecast a brilliant result. Okay, that's just not the way we work. But if you are in a position and we are absolutely sure that working with us is going to generate results, we may offer our help. So who is this for? This is for first aid providers who are currently taking in some bookings, but it's mostly from word of mouth. It could be first aid contractors who are sick of trying different tactics to get more bookings and not seeing much success at all. People that know that they're good at what they're doing, they really deliver a good course, and believe that they can dominate their marketplace and make a high income. We want to talk to people that truly love helping others and value results above everything else. First and foremost. We want to talk with people who understand they need to have some skin in the game. So if this sounds like you, I would like to invite you to book a scaling session right now. Look, you always hear these things, and what it is a scarcity model. People say, we've only got 5 spots left, or we've got, we're closing this offer down in 10 minutes, or 10 minutes time. This is scarcity. It's a really good tactic in marketing. But when I say this, we have generally 5 spots. I am not lying. This is a beta program. We've worked with, first aid providers, medical training providers before, but not in this structured format. Nothing like this before. So we're only taking on 5 people, and that get significant benefits that other people won't do. But we have a limit of 5 people. That's all. And we only have this. And again, our mission here is not to sell. Our mission is to see if we can help. That's it. We want to help you gain clarity of what to do next and how to make that impact that we mentioned. So what I would like to do, I want to offer you a chance to schedule a call, click the link, and jump on a call and speak with me personally. But remember, there's a few things you need to know before we jump on this call. I am ecstatic. I have been working on this and I've really put my heart and soul into this. But in order to make the most of this for both of our time, I would like you to do a couple of things. It will only take 2 seconds, I promise. But please do it. Okay. Step 1 is you got to show up for the call. That's, it goes without saying. But it's very hard for us to identify where you're at right now, give you the right steps to move forward if we actually don't speak. And if I don't understand a clear understanding of where you are and what your situation is first. So a big thing to me is maximizing your time as a business owner. I respect other people's time, and I would like to expect that they would do the same for me and my team. So please be prepared for your call. I know you have a lot going on. Believe me, we do too. But there's a reason here you scheduled this call. And that's why I'm here, to try to help you find that answer. So what I ask is you to come prepared. Have a paper and a paste pad, and come focused. No distractions, not in the car, not out for a walk. I really want to give you what you're looking for, the answers that you're looking for. I ask that you don't be afraid of us. Our advice are going to be serious. We're going to give you an actual roadmap, what to do. but there's no such thing as hard selling, or we're not trying to intimidate you or manipulate these crazy sale tactics that I see out there right now. This is not the way we work. So please, don't be worried. The aim of this is to discuss your current situation and give you some actual, real, actionable advice. And if this advice will, identify where you're at right now, what's holding you, where you want to be, and what's holding you back. All right. So if it does make sense, and we think that we could help, and you are a good fit, and we feel that this is a no-brainer, only then we will extend an invitation for you to come aboard. So what else can I say? I look forward to personally having a chat with you guys. I want to hear all about your business. I want to build connections. I want to build network. I want to invite you into our circle, and I look forward to having a chat with you. All the best, guys, and speak with you soon. Bye.